So today we will continue to talk about functions. In my personal experience, I know people it's not very easy to get the conception of the functions, but we will do more examples. Usually I know only 30% of students understanding conception of the functions from the first lesson. I mean, students with no experience, usually. But when we're using it again and again, it's become easier for students to understand how it's working. So, as usual, I will create a new folder. Today is lesson 6. And I will create a new project. I will close yesterday one, close folder, and I will open new folder. I will open folder, and it is lesson 6. And as usual, I will create app.js file. And as usual, I will initialize project using npm init. So I will just do enter for everything, and we are good. Okay, so give me a second. Let me repeat, guys, one more time. Every day the same link. Every day the same link. Okay? Just don't need to ask it. I already pinned this link to the channel. So in the pinned items you will have a link, you will have our schedule, and you will have first lesson. Oh, it's not first lesson, it's about how to use Slack. Okay, whatever. So guys, lesson about functions. And today it's a more kind of hands-on lesson. We will do more examples. Again, functions, it's a sub-programs. We kind of delegating to do some operations, some frequent operations. If we do need to do some calculations or whatever very often, we using functions. So let's do some experience, and we want some exercises, and we will try to work with the arrays. For example, let's try to find a biggest number in array. So let's start, and we will create an array. Okay, so we have an array of numbers. How many elements in this array? I don't know, but I can do something like console log, and I can print out length of the array. It just, guys, we're repeating some stuff, just numbers dot length, and this will return the number of elements, size of the array. So I will save it and I will run npm node app.js, and we have 18 numbers in this array. Kinda everything is clear. Let's create a function, a first function, which will find the biggest number in this array, maximum. So let's call this function max. But today, so I will show you how we can define function. So old way, I showed it you yesterday, function, and I will call it max1. And as a parameter, I will accept some variable, for example, x6. It doesn't matter, it's just a name. Okay, and here is I will search for the biggest number of array xx. So idea, we will pass an array to this function, and array will be copied to the variable x6. I just giving you just random name because like you should understand this is abstract name. This name is not depends on anything in this program. Okay, so here is I can do something like that. I will create a new variable, let max is equal to 0. No, not 0. It will equal to the first element of the array. I will say max is equal to x6 with the index 0, first element of the array. Good. Now I will try to iterate. I will do for, let's say, for let number, or let v of x6. So guys, you should understand, again, names can be different. So I pick it up v as a variable which will be used for, like, we will copy by one element from the array x6 and we will copy it to the vv. And here is I will do comparison. If v is bigger than max, I will update the max. I will say max now is v. Okay, good. When we will finish this loop, v will have a maximum number. So I will return max. Sorry, max will have a maximum number. So this is kinda how it should be. I will save it, and now I will try to invoke this function. I will say const m is equal to max1, and I will pass inside the array numbers. Now I will console dot log, and I will pass this m. I will save it and I will run it. Okay, so maximum in this array 232. Is it correct? Looks like yes. So let's understand how this function is working. Let me first, I will copy this function to very top. Why? Because I want its leaf little bit separate. Okay, good. Now it is like in separate place. I will save it. So take a look, function max1, and it's taking a variable. I don't know. Is it array, boolean or string? And actually I don't care. If it will be not an array, this function will throw error. So this will work only with arrays. But technically we can pass everything. And during starting of the program we will not find any error, because we will see when we will run this program. Because JavaScript doesn't checking type of the variable. In JavaScript every variable is just a constant, that's all. Okay, so we assume this is an array, and we taking a first element of the array and saving in the max. So what happens here? Actually we have somebody sending me a message. Okay, so what happens here? How we working? So let's understand how this function is working. We saying max is equal to the first element of the array, to number 2. After that, we starting to iterate through whole array. And on every iteration, we becoming this number, this number, this number, and so on till it will be minus 19. On the last iteration, v will be equal to minus 19. So what happens? I will asking, is v is bigger than max? So on the first iteration, I will stop it and you will see what is going on. I will do debugging and take a look, guys. I do it over here. So on the first iteration, v is equal to 2. And we are asking, is v bigger than max? And this return false. Now v will be 34. We are asking, is 34 is bigger than 2? And result is true. And over here on the next line we will say, now max is equal to 34. And now max will be 34. And now we picking up next number, 5.5. And we comparing 5.5 and 34. Is 5.5 bigger than 34? No, it's false. In that case, we going to the next iteration. And we choosing next number, which is 55. Now v is equal 55 and max is still 34. And now we comparing it, and this result will be true. And on next line we go inside the if and we changing the max. Now max is 55, and so on. We will do it till the end of the loop, till the end of array. We will compare with the max every element of the array. And in case if element is bigger, we updating the value of the max by new max. Is it clear, guys? Any questions? Okay, cool. So this is pretty simple program which calculating you a maximum in the array. Good. Function defined the same file. Now I will define the same function but little bit in a different way, more, I would say, modern. And the idea, the difference is the next. We can save function in a variable. Yes, we can. Take a look how it will look like now. I will do const and I will call it max2 is equal. max2, my bad. Max2 is equal. And here is I was asked yesterday how to use anonymous function. Now I will create anonymous function. Here is anonymous function. Also we're calling it arrow function or lambda. And here is I saying x6. And x6 is a parameter. And here is I will define the function. A definition will be absolutely the same. So what happens over here? I said I want to save this anonymous function in the variable max. So actually, how to use it? Absolutely in the same way. Actually, max become a name of this function. And if I want to run this program, I will do absolutely the same. I don't need console log anymore. I will copy this. I will paste it over here. I will comment this. And here is I will do max2. Actually, absolutely the same form. You see max1, max2. But a little bit different syntax. This difference function max1 and here is constant max1. Here is anonymous function. So we kind of save it in anonymous function. Actually, we also can do something like that. I'm sorry, I will do it. Here is constant max3 is equal to max1. And actually this is absolutely the same. If I want to use max3, I will do absolutely the same. It will look absolutely in the same way. It will look like this, max3. But actually, guys, this is just different syntaxes for the same stuff. You can define function like old style with the word function, or you can define it in a new style using arrow function. But this is absolutely the same stuff. Now, more popular to use a arrow function. Like you see anonymous with the what's this anonymous function? Anonymous function is a function without name. Actually, you see only parameters, but no name. And this is arrow operator. And here is we have function word, name of the function, and here is we have this. So JavaScript, very, like I would say, liberal language. You can do many different things. It's absolutely correct if you will use this style. It's absolutely correct if you will use this style. Doesn't matter. But idea is next. In the variables, now we can say save also functions. So we can save strings, booleans, we can save arrays, we can save null undefined, and also we can save functions. Max2, it's a variable, but yes, actually it's working absolutely like a name of the function, absolutely correct. So if I will comment this, I will save it, and if I will run this program, I will have same result. So yes, actually max2 is a variable, but it's a variable. You see const means this is a variable, but this variable storing a function, and it looks like function and working like function because we're passing over here a parameter. But what happens here, guys? We save it with anonymous function in the variable. But this is absolutely the same stuff. It's just different syntax. Okay, you just should understand this is one style of the writing of the stuff, this is a different style, but in the end of the day we're working in the same way. It's working like, take a look, max 1 and max 2, you don't see a difference how it's working. Both of them working absolutely the same, name and parentheses, and inside that you're passing parameters. Okay, any questions so far? Guys, don't be frustrated by these different styles. It's a different style, but actually we're working in the same way. When I see this function, I don't know, is it defining as a constant or function, because no difference. When you calling these functions, it's absolutely the same stuff. Okay, so this is just two different ways how we're writing function. We can define this as a word function with the function name and the list of the parameters, or we can define this as a constant with the arrow function or an anonymous function. Let's continue. I will create a new file and I will show you guys. Also, we can store functions in a different file. So let me create a new file and I will call it helper.js. So helper.js will help, and in helpers we can save functions. Save functions. So one sec, I will open next page. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so guys, idea. JavaScript is a language in developing. So we can see a new stuff, we can see an old stuff. And guys, very soon we will learn about async await pattern. Like, it's very interesting stuff. But guys, you should understand some stuff. Language now in like moving, and like 5 years ago, Node.js and JavaScript was very hard. It was a lot of like stuff like callbacks, like promises, and all these not easy to understand stuff. Now language like become much better and much easier. You don't need to like work with the promises like nowadays. You don't need to work with the callback functions. You can see it still, but it's like not very easy way how to work. But you will learn that eventually, don't worry about that. So I created a helper function, and here is a helper function. I will define a function, and we will call this helper function in the helper. We will call from the app file. So let's create function which will, for example, I don't know, which will, for example, find a minimum. So I will create as a function, okay, whatever const or function min, and this min function will take as a parameter array. So over here, what we will do, I will say let minimum is equal to array arrays element 0. Okay, now I will say for let v of array, and I will iterate. So I will say that if v if min is smaller than v, we will update min. Min is equal to v. Okay, and I will return minimum. So this is kind of idea, very simple function. Now I need to export it. So I will do a special export statement. I will do, take a look. I will write module export, module exports, and here is I will define what I want to export. I want to export my min function. Okay, it's not happy. I don't want. So this is, you see here is it's explaining. So here is again like this is kind of JavaScript language in growing. It used to use it CommonJS, but now it's moving to JS6 models. Probably later I will show you differences, but today we will keep like old style for now between CommonJS, so call it. It's so many new words, I'm sorry about that, and JS6 models, but whatever. One day we will learn that. So take a look. I defined function min, and I need to export it from this file. So this will allow me to call this function from the different file. I defined the function in the helper, and I need to export it. Now I will do Ctrl S. Now I will go to my this file, and over here I will do a exporting statement. So I will do a constant like max1 is equal to require, and here is I will say what I'm requiring. So I importing this file. Take a look again. I will show you. I making this. It's path to the helper file. I do a dot. Dot means search in the current folder. Dot and slash. So dot slash saying I searching for a file in the current folder. So app.js, this app.js from which I'm calling, and helper in the same folder. So in order to search for this file in the same folder, I calling a syntax is dot and slash, and I calling for the helper. Now we calling file helper, and from here I will do let's say it's helper, yes, let's call it. And now if I want to call for this function, I will do something like that. I will do, take a look, I will do const min. I'm sorry, today is little bit not very simple language lesson. Constant min is equal to, probably we don't need to learn exporting this lesson. We will not learn. I just thinking because it's a little bit difficult for now. But anyway, today I will finish this explanation. But for the future, I don't need to show everything, all this stuff today. And here is I will do helper dot mean, and I will pass this array. What is the array numbers? And here is I will just do console log, and I will pass this mean, and I will do a Ctrl S, and now I will try to run it. So what is wrong here? Okay, iPad, what is wrong? Oh, my bad. I will try from terminal. Not dot app. So 232. My logic is wrong. Oh, not because probably
it's
logic.
in the helper you have the comparison sign the other way around.
Probably yes. Probably you're right. Ctrl S. Yes, minus 90. This is correct. So guys, I don't know. Is it good today to show how to place to the different file? But again, I will repeat anyway. So if we want to place function to the different file, we need to do few things. First, we writing function like it is, like as it. Second, we need to export it. Third, we need to link in the app.js. Okay, can I? Okay, I will show. So here is a function. Here is I do link. I linking this helper file to this constant helper. And now what happens when I require this file? It's taken from this. Let me move max1 to here. I will cut it and I will place over here. So take a look. I have one min, and here is, let's call it max. Okay, and over here I should add also comma max. So now I used to have only one function, now I have two functions, and I exporting both. So for every function which I want to export, I need to add it over here. I added min, I added max. So my file helper helps to store helping function. So now I store my helping function in a separate file, and over here I can let me just, guys, I will just cut and I will place it over here. We don't need this, but I want to keep everything clean, and I will comment it over here. Sorry, I will comment it over here and I will save it. So guys, we have two functions, min and max, and I have a module which exported. Now here is what we have. Here is I have an importing function. So actually this importing whole helper file, whole this file to the variable helper. And now I can call for this min on or for this max. So if I want to use max, I will remove this stuff, we don't need it anymore. If I want to use max, I need to use helper.max. Helper.max. So what happens here, guys? Let's understand. Control S. Now code become much cleaner. I keeping this function min and max in a separate files. So what I can do, from this helper file, it's just storing some helpers. One function helping finding minimum, one function helping finding maximum. And we exporting from this helper. From the main program, we importing this file as a helper variable. And I calling it using helper max and helper min. Let me run it. If I will run it, you see I have maximum and I have minimum. Guys, any questions so far? I am sorry, like for new students it's a little bit hard, and probably you can dismiss part when we doing a separate file. Probably we don't need to pick up this question today, and probably I will skip it. But anyway, what we learned today, guys? First of all, we can store function as a variable. Here is an example. We can store function as a variable like this. So I taking max function and I storing it as a variable. This is absolutely legit. Here is name of the variable and I storing a function. I will use this syntaxes more and more, little by little, to let you guys used to work with this syntaxes, okay? Because like this is not very usual syntax, but you should use to, because this is a new way how now people writing functions. But anyway, this is a correct way anyway, still correct. But this is kind of more modern way how you can write functions. And here is we have like, also I showed you how we can split our work in small and separate files. So I created a helper file which only storing information about functions, and I showed you guys how I can link it. So in order to link two files, I need make an export statement from one file, and I need make an import. This is an import statement in first file. So here is I exporting from here, and from here I importing. This is a link between these two files. Now what I want to do, I want to make more examples on functions. So guys, let's do more exercises. So like now it's more hands-on stuff, and I want to give you more exercise. One sec, give me a second. First, I want to show you a modulus or remainder operator. We calling, like in Java it was modulus, now we calling it remainder, but it looks absolutely in the same way. So remainder, how remainder working? So what is remainder? Remainder is a remainder from the dividing operation. For example, I do console log and I will do 5 by 2. So since 5 is an odd number, the result will be 1. If it will be even number, result will be 0. So let me, over here I will comment this stuff, and let me run this program. Now we have a 1, because 5 remainder from dividing 5 by 2 is 1. Guys, is it clear what's mean remainder or not? If like somebody doubt, let me know. Guys, if somebody, okay, so remainder. I'm sorry, I will say in Russian, but I will translate. Остаток отделения числа на число, по-английски remainder. Remainder, it's a, Olga, is it clear now? So remainder, we learned it in the very elementary school. So remainder, when I do 5 by 2, remainder is 1. So what is odd number? What is even number? The rule for the even numbers, remainder of dividing number by 2 is 0. This is even number. For the odd numbers, remainder is, let's say, not 0. So let's do a new function, and this function will be odd numbers. We're taking an array, and it will print out all even numbers. So I will use a new even numbers, and v is equal to, and we passing an array as a parameter, and I will do like this. And even numbers is a function which I want to copy, and I want to place it over here. I will export it. Okay, good. Now I will say how it will work. So I will iterate through the array. I will do for let v of array, and I will check if number is even, I will print it out. If v divided by remainder by 2 is equal to 0, that means this is an even number, and I want to print it out. I will do console dot log, and I will print out this v. So let me, guys, try to invoke this function. So over here on the left side in the main program, I will do something like, I will just call this function. I will do helper dot even numbers, and I need to save it over here, Control S, and here is I will pass our array. I will pass our numbers, and I will do save. Now I will do clear, and now I will run my program. So guys, I printed out all even numbers: 56, 78, minus 12, 0, 12, and 90. This is even numbers, which when we dividing by 2 have 0 in remainder. So guys, this is an example. I have a function, I exporting it, and I using it. More examples? Yes. Let's do a new example. We will make a program which calculating odd numbers. So I will do it function odd numbers, and here is I passing array, and here is I do same stuff I do for let v in of array, and here is I will do a comparison. If v not, here is I can say strict equal, not equal to 0, because we can have a -1. In that case, we will do console.log, and I will print out v. So this function will print out only odd numbers. I will comment this one. I need to save first. Here is, I need to save. I will helper dot odd numbers. Oh, I did not export odd numbers, guys. I did not export it. That's why I cannot see. I need to add to the export statement. And now I will see it.
Barjan, I think you missed the percentage 2. No?
Yes, absolutely correct. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely correct. Odd numbers, and here is I will pass our array. So again, guys, now it's more visible. What happens when I invoke function? I invoke function, I passing in variable numbers. These numbers will be copied to this array, and we will make all this operation with this array. So let me run it, and I expecting to see only odd numbers. And here is we have only odd numbers, including negative. Any questions so far, guys? So let's create few more functions, just in case, to whatever. So guys, I will create one more function. For example, function which will calculate a sum of 3 numbers. But I will show you one stuff which I thinking about better example. Okay, function sum. We will take as a parameter. Oh, no. Let's do function hello. My bad. I thinking about better example. Hello, and as a parameter we will take name. And here is we will do something like that. It will print out hello, like we did yesterday. Console log, and here is I will do in backticks. I will save it, and now I will export it. I will export it. So I will add hello to the export station, and I will save it. So now I exported this very simple function hello. Kinda good. Everything like good. Now, what we will try to do? I will do helper, and I will pass name hello, and I will place name Alex. Yes, and I will save, and I will run it. And I will have something like, hello Alex, nice to meet you. This we did yesterday. Everything is clear. But what will happen if I will not pass anything? If I will not pass anything, and I will run this function, and I will comment this, and I will clear and I will run. I did not save, my bad. Ctrl S. I will clear again and I will run. Hello, undefine it. What happens here? I did not pass any variable, and this variable name was not initialized. What happens if I did not initializing? It took a default value which is undefined, and we have hello undefined, nice to meet you. I don't like undefined, but I want to run without parameters. What I can do? So for the function we have so-called default parameters. If I do not pass parameters, I can do name is equal to friend. So how it will work? If I will run again this function, it will say hello friend, nice to meet you. Idea, if I will pass Alex or Jane, and if I will not pass anything, let's see the behavior. So hello friend, nice to meet you, but if I passing a variable, this default value replaced by the Jane. This is very useful. If you passing, it's working like this, but sometimes you can like place it in a different way. So this is kinda in Java we have like so-called function name overloading, and here is we do absolutely the same. We can set a default parameter, and if I'm not sending anything, we're taking a default one, and it's working as it. So default parameters. Function, if we're not passing, it can take default one. But if we don't have default, it will be undefined. Not like a big deal, but better we can have a default. So idea, it's kind of clear. If we don't have anything, we giving something to just do a basic work. But if I will pass a real parameter Jane, it will be replaced. Here is friend will be replaced by Jane. Any questions so far? Guys, I understand today is little bit, probably a little bit difficult language, difficult lesson. Probably, I mean Thursday I will do one more lesson and we will repeat all this stuff, because like functions in this we will do just more examples, and we will finish this lesson by doing more and more and more examples again and again. Just repeat. Just sometimes people not understanding, but when they have enough examples, like problem will be solved just by repeating. It's okay. It's understanding will come later. So we will do more. If I will say friend is equal, name is equal to null, we will have null. We will have hello null, nice to meet you. So null is just a value. Okay guys, tomorrow we don't have a lesson. See you Thursday. Bye.